Sometimes, we all get along here and sometimes we have massive disagreements. And I don't like how Shane told me I can't bring a cowbell to this episode.
Happy Wednesday and welcome into the PHNX Sun Devils show, of course, presented by Branded Bills. Make sure you head to brandedbills.com and use code PHNX for 15% off your first order. I'm Anthony Totri, this guy right there. That's Erik. We got the deli man behind the Mac making all of the magic happen. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. McKay Miller, Sharon, Seth already in the chat. Rocking out, man. We got just a couple more episodes until another game day.
Can I give a shout out to the chat,
Go
to
ahead,
the viewers,
man. Yeah.
to the people who watch on YouTube after the fact? I mean, what a great time to be a Sun Devil fan. The community here is popping. The diehard Discord is popping. I mean, you can really feel the support building up for this team. And I know we have over the last year, but this is really, really great. I'm super pumped with how bought in everybody is on this team. They just need to go to Starkville and get a win this weekend, and everybody will be even more bought in.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of what we got for everybody today, of course, Arizona State heading into SEC country. The Sun Devils with a chance to actually gain some national respect despite the opponent. What did Mississippi State coach Jeff Lebby have to say about Kenny Dillingham and the Sun Devils? We've got some sound from him that we'll get to a little bit later on in the show. Also, I have Arizona State volleyball coach JJ Van Niel hopping on with us here in about 15 to 20 minutes, so make sure you stick around for that. But Erik, I think something that, I don't know if you've seen it, it's been all over my social account over the last 24 to 48 hours, as Mississippi State fans think that Dilly took a shot at them in his Monday press conference in regards to where Arizona State is going to be staying in terms of hotels.
No, I didn't. I saw that people have been complaining about Mississippi State fans, but I haven't seen it, which is kind of crazy.
That is crazy.
But what are they saying? What did he say?
So Dilly had said, so the team is staying about an hour and 15 minutes away from the actual stadium. He had said that they are doing that simply because there isn't any hotels nearby that aren't a casino, right? He said that on Monday in like a joking manner. I didn't feel like it was a dig at Mississippi State. A lot of it has to do with the fact that you maybe there's some hotels that aren't casinos that can't house the amount of staff and players and everything that Arizona State is bringing, not to mention the food accommodations and all that. So the Sun Devils are staying about an hour and 15 minutes away. And Mississippi State fans I've never seen a fan base defend their hotels the way that like the Bulldogs are, man. It's actually kind of crazy.
What?
Yeah.
And people are like legitimately mad about this?
Legit upset about that.
That's the softest thing I've ever heard in my
entire
life.
People are legit upset that he had that to say about the hotels, which again, it wasn't like anything negative. I know there are people in the chat talking about, wasn't it more of a dig at Tech? Not really. It was more, I think, him just adding context. So last season he had brought up that about 10 players had gotten sick that weekend that they were playing Texas Tech because of the food that they were eating. So I guess people took that as a dig at Tech too. Like,
what?
I don't.
What?
Knowing Dilly, it's
what is
not
wrong
none of it,
with people?
Like none of it is like they weren't digs. I feel like he wasn't
factual
talking
information.
trash.
If you don't like it, build a bigger hotel. I don't know what to tell you,
dude. Like just maybe build some that aren't casinos.
That's maybe
This is what we're choosing to die on the hill for?
Man. That's like kind of the softest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
This is what we're mad about?
Like, I get it, having pride in your town, especially like a small town down south, and it's a tight-knit community, and I get it, have that pride, but it's not like Kenny Dillingham said, like, we're not staying next to those rednecks down there. He's like, they don't got. Like,
you said that.
He's not doing that, man.
You know what's
Nobody's
crazy?
doing that. Nobody's taking shots at Starkville. Like, if anything, Kenny has said nothing but positive things about the environment and everything down there. That's the softest thing I've ever heard.
This week is the week that is the most confusing to be doing this, because we have 4 coaches fighting right now. And people are choosing to focus in on what Kenny had to say on this. Like, go look at Dan Lanning and Mike Gundy.
They're going at it.
Go look at
Brian Kelly and Dabo.
Brian Kelly and Dabo. Like, why are we doing this right now?
I don't know.
M says they called it bulletin board material.
Kenny Dillingham.
Do they have a bulletin board to
Jeff
put it on?
Lebby, man. I saw that and I was like, wait, we're really upset about this?
I also just love like that's the thing you're white knighting for.
Your hotels.
We have hotels.
Like,
what?
that's literally the conversation. Like, what do you care? What do you care that Arizona State is staying an hour and 15 minutes away? Like, that's seriously the issue.
Jacob also says it's their first game. You're telling me all the hotels close to campus aren't already full? Like, I don't want to even talk about this anymore. That's so lame. Like, that's so lame. Be better.
It is lame.
Be better.
It's, again, I've seen several folks. There was another podcast that went out of its way to discuss it. Like, because it's got a big Mississippi State fan on it.
Yeah.
So they were, like, freaking out.
They're freaking out about
But he was
it?
I'll show you the clip. I'll show you the
What?
clip. I don't want to post it here, but, like, I'll show you after the fact. I think it was a Barstool podcast that was losing their mind over the fact that Kenny was like, yeah, we're staying an hour and 15
Stick it, fish boy. Sorry.
No, you got it. You got anything else you want
No.
to say? on that one?
We're talking about Fishboy in the chat.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Appreciate you.
Look, I think moving aside from, where Arizona State is staying and the food that they'll be eating leading up to the game, in regards to this actual matchup between ASU and Mississippi State, I think just based off of what I saw with the AP Top 25, I don't know if you saw the full list of votes. There was one that had ASU as high as number 7 in the country, and then one that had Arizona State as low as number 21 in the country after the week 1 win over NAU. I don't know about you, Rubus, and I'd love to get the chat's thoughts on this as well. Despite Mississippi State being a lower level team in the SEC, I think ASU can actually gain a ton of national respect if they're able to take care of business. And I don't think they need to do it handedly. Like, they don't need to win by 40 points, but I think if they're able to just take care of their business, get out of here with a win, I think going on the road in SEC country would actually gain a lot of respect for this program.
I think there's a big chance for respect for this program for sure. I think it's more of a chance to make a statement.
Yeah.
Like you say, they don't need to win big. They don't need to, right? 2-0 and being healthy is the only thing you really need on a week in, week out basis. But if they go into SEC country and they do take care of business to the 10th degree, then hey, like, that's a big statement.
Yeah.
And for a team in ASU, and we said it on yesterday's show, and I said it a lot during the offseason, like, they're going to have to overcome a couple of different biases in order to really get national attention. And I don't think that beating Mississippi State is going to be this marquee win. I think reality is, probably the toughest team they'll play in non-con, but
Easily
not
the toughest
a top 7 team that they play this season.
Yeah.
Right? Like, their Big 12 schedule is much tougher. The end of the day, getting a win is expected, so I don't know if they can earn a ton of respect, but I do think that they can put some more people in their place when it comes to speaking about how this team doesn't deserve to be a top 12, top 15, top 10 team. I think a win by 30 does put them in the top 10 next week.
This tweet just came across the timeline from Jordan Berkeley, who is a big Mississippi State fan, tweeting a photo of Mississippi State, and I think the ASU fans will get a kick out of this, saying there is no Cam Scattaboo to save them this time around. Sam Levitt is a fraud, and we have a thing or two to teach Kenny Dillingham about the great state of Mississippi. First off, the great state of Mississippi, that's what we're doing here? The great state.
Hey.
No, I will not hey. This is a bottom 10 state in the country.
What?
And we're going to sit here and say the great state.
Totri goes, look, guys, Kenny didn't.
Screw the football side of things, man.
Kenny didn't mean anything by what he said.
I do.
This is not. I hate you guys. He doesn't. I hate you guys.
Yeah.
Have you driven through Mississippi? Have you been to Mississippi?
No, I have not.
Okay, well,
Bottom 10 state, man.
I've been to it many times. 4, I think. It has riverboat gambling, and that is one of the coolest things in the world. So, but other than that, I ain't got much to say.
I've never been to Mississippi, so I will say that. I'm sure that there are lovely places in Mississippi.
I don't think there is.
Overall rankings, as far as quality of life goes, these are not my metrics.
Dude, we are not gonna stat head a state.
I am smearing Mississippi.
Out of 50 states, do we want to guess where they rank?
We are not.
In quality of life.
My take.
And quality of
this
life.
This is not my take.
Totri or Erik.
Quality of life.
Eric's bringing stat reference to
when they say quality of life, what do they mean?
It's from the U.S. News. It's an amalgamation of things like crime and corrections, economy, education, financial stability, healthcare, infrastructure, natural environment, and opportunity. An amalgamation of all of those things. Sorry,
42.
Do we have a guest, Deli Man? Or are we not participating?
I mean, I know for a fact it's like 48, 49.
Yeah, it's 48.
48.
Now, that's not my opinion.
48.
That's not my opinion.
The only two worse, probably the Dakotas.
I've never been there. I'm sure that there are lovely people. I'm sure there are lovely places.
Do you have Arizona's rankings on there though, just so we can be fair?
Yeah, I can look that up.
Like by the same standard, whatever
Quality
metric.
of life, man. Mississippi State.
Arizona's 30th.
Okay.
So we're not like top tier.
Better than Mississippi, man. Not even close. And also,
by the way, the best ranking is Utah. So
I love this narrative though. That it's like there is no Cam Scadaboo to save you. We got to
let's go back to football.
We gotta teach Kenny Dillingham
Sam
a thing
Levitt's
or
a
two
fraud.
about our Holiday Inns that we have.
God, please call Sam Levitt a fraud. Please just bring signs, tag him.
He had a bad game against them last year. He did. I think we went over his numbers last year.
Terrible game.
It was not a great game by any stretch of the imagination. For the offense in general, just outside of Cam Scadaboo, that was realistically the only offense that Arizona State had. And you go last week, and I know there were some issues or some concerns with the fans of hey, we didn't get anybody involved not named Jordan Tyson. Kenny and Marcus Arroyo still kind of defended that of hey, wouldn't we be kind of stupid not to feed a guy, in single coverage, especially going against NAU. This week, if NAU or if Mississippi State doesn't do anything about it, then yeah, you're going to see Jordan Tyson probably get 20 targets again. And if he does, Marcus Arroyo today saying that there will be a little bit more of an expanded role for Jaron Hamilton this week. So you will see Turbo in action on the road, who is familiar with SEC country, transferring over from Alabama. I think you will see a heavier dose of the running backs this time around, Kyson Brown, Raleek Brown, Kanye Udoh. I think the tight ends are going to be a little bit more involved, not just Shimon Mateer, but also another SEC transfer in Kamari Anderson. I think this offense is going to be more spread out in week 2. And I think it is, in all honesty, outside of the explosiveness that you saw, I think this could look like an entirely different offense in week 2.
I think it should, right? I think it should. I also think the play calling will be a little bit different this week as well. It's going to be interesting. The big thing at the end of the day when it comes to everything you said is, can the offensive line protect Sam Levitt better than they did against NAU?
That's the question, right?
And can the defensive line get pressure? That's how you beat SEC teams in SEC country. Yes, Deli Man in the back.
First of all, here, you're welcome. You're welcome, everybody. That was saying I had a God voice. I am now on camera and I'm floating between these two guys. Stop it, dude.
I love it.
Stop it, guys. Stop. Stop it. I have a theory about the play calling against NAU.
A theory.
Yeah, I think that.
Are we going into tinfoil hat territory?
Yeah, theory, man.
Yeah. I'm thinking, but I also think Kenny's insane enough to do this. I think that Kenny saw either the way that they were approaching the game or just thought that it would have been too easy of a test and was calling the plays, poorly calling plays on purpose.
Sure.
Poorly calling plays.
Maybe experimenting is a better word to
what
use.
would be the logic behind calling plays?
Making making the players get out of difficult situations.
I mean, they did put the defense
that's a
in a lot of
real
difficult
level
situations.
of psycho.
Yeah,
it's
it is
a real level of psycho.
But do we know him?
I mean, he called a fake punt up 14 in the first quarter on his own 40. So
McKay goes, bro, that's what the guy behind
What did you think I looked
the voice looks like?
What did you think I looked
I'm up
like?
to no good.
Oh my
I'm
God.
kind of offended by that comment for some reason.
We're going to continue talking Arizona State football, the matchup against Mississippi State. We've also got Arizona State volleyball coach JJ Van Niel joining us shortly as well. All that and more on the other side of this quick break.
Besides looking at Shane's face, there's another big attraction in town. October 31st through November 2nd, it is Phoenix Raceway, and it's the NASCAR Championship weekend because you can witness 4 champions crowned in just 3 days. And for those of you who are not good at math, 4 is greater than 3. And it only gets better from there. It's one of the best tracks in the NASCAR circuit. It's in the side of a mountain. It's beautiful, and with a small ticket upgrade, you're in the Desert Diamond Casino infield experience, up close to the garage, meeting the drivers, walking the track, catching the pre-race concert. But as I like to say, the coup de grace is the racing. So don't miss your chance to witness NASCAR Championship Weekend in person, coming to Phoenix Raceway October 31st through November 2nd. Tickets for Sunday's Cup Series Championship race sell out every year, so move fast and get yours now before they're gone. Here's the kicker. NASCAR's taking Championship Weekend on the road starting in 2026, so here's your last chance to catch it in Phoenix for a while. Tickets, hospitality upgrades still available. Get yours now at the link in our show notes.
Guys, if you are a regular in this chat, then you're probably noticing that Ruby here, he's got himself a brand spanking new branded Bills hat. Shout out Arizona State for getting us that on top of all of the other branded Bills hats that we have. I feel like I hadn't seen a new Arizona State branded Bills hat in such a long time, but they've got so many options. Dude.
I got a sexy one that I got along with this one. I got
Arizona
a sexy
State
one,
wow.
bro. It's I got to wear it with the right outfit. It's got to be a good outfit. It's nice. And it's nothing like I've ever gotten from Branded Bills before. Completely different
They've
material.
got so much great stuff over at Branded Bills. Whether you need snapbacks, truckers, fitteds, beanies, or tees, Branded Bills has you covered with performance and style. Again, make sure you head to brandedbills.com and use code BBPHNX for 15% off your first order. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. Rubus, oh wow, we were bumping the music.
The music
there for
says
a second. Machiavelli in the chat. Ruby looks fly, the man in black, Johnny Cash, baby.
Going down, down, down in a burning ring of fire.
That's
I didn't mind that.
You didn't mind that?
It kind of got me going.
The flames
In which
go
way?
higher.
What do you mean by that?
Burns,
You tell me, man. You tell
the
me.
ring of fire. The ring of fire.
Ruby Cash.
That's me.
You done? You done
Ruby
there?
Cash.
We're good there.
Cash Ruby, rap name.
No, we need.
Should I drop a diss track against Mississippi hotels?
Apparently, Dilly did, man.
You got no infrastructure. Sorry.
48th quality of life.
Riverboat.
What's up with these casinos and hotels?
Dear Lord.
Obesity rate.
Or
That's
maybe
tough.
like motels.
That's tough. Look, like I said, we will have Arizona State volleyball coach JJ Van Niel
Following up that.
joining us shortly. I think, again, looking forward to this matchup. I saw somebody in the chat talking about it before with the offensive line. How do we think it's going to hold up? Considering that it was a little bit shaky in week 1 against NAU. Now you do have an SEC quality opponent, especially in the trenches. And we will get to that conversation about the Arizona State offensive line here in just a little bit, Rubus.
But there's something important that we got to get to because, yes, everybody has Sun Devil football fever, but, man, there is another extremely hot Sun Devil team right now coming off of a massive, massive win. So we'll get to some more football here in a second, of course. But I think before we reveal and get into this, I think we got to ask everybody to hit that like button.
We do.
Hit that
Definitely hit
subscribe
that
button.
like button, man.
And are we ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's
Without
run it.
further ado, Arizona State volleyball, Neil, Coach, we appreciate you taking the time today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Always. Look, before we get too deep into the volleyball discussion and building this program, I have to know on your end just what level of preparation goes into that mustache on the daily?
Well, I think my wife and my staff would probably say not enough. I've had it since last November, and it was pretty funny. It was a match day, and I was up there, and I had kind of a beard because it was November, and I just went in, and it was a little goatee or leave the beard or mustache, and Presley was like, mustache, let's go. So I started with a really obnoxious one, the full handlebars and everything, and she sent me right back in there to clean it up. So yeah.
Well, obviously the mustache, the most important thing going on right now. In a close second is a massive win that you and your team just pulled off against number 2 Penn State. What's the vibe around the program like right now? You had an incredible first season in the Big 12. You're following that up by starting off hot and getting into this season with some really big wins. What is just the overall vibe and mindset of your team as they're just on absolute fire?
Yeah, I mean, I think this season is 100% new starting lineup. So it's a really focused group. They're working really hard. We still got some things we got to work out, but that was obviously really fun win against a perennially top team in a kind of a hostile environment. It was at the Penguins Arena, but it was loaded with Pitt and Penn State folks, which kind of made it fun because when you're walking around, we're wearing our ASU gear, and a lot of those guys were talking smack to us, which makes it fun. I think that's part of the fun of college sports. But no, they're a focused team, and they're in here working really hard, and I think there's just an excitement because it's all new, so.
What's the biggest piece of trash talk that you heard? Like, is there anything that sticks with you?
Of course, we got frozen there. We got frozen right as we got the trash talk question going in. Hopefully we get JJ back in here shortly. Man, I'm very curious.
I want to know the trash talk.
I'm very curious if he ended the call because of the question.
You think it was that?
I think it might have been. It might have been. Yeah, the question was just like, I can't answer this.
I'll have to be better next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
What do you think was the biggest piece of trash talk that he got?
I don't know. I mean, hopefully we'll see.
Sorry.
Okay, we got you back.
I think we're back.
Was the question that bad that you had to leave on that one?
No, apparently my internet connection is that
bad. So we didn't get to hear any of the trash talk. I guess maybe it's not safe for the program. I don't know. But did you hear any good chirps?
Honestly, nothing that creative. Mostly, you shouldn't be out here on the East Coast, and we're gonna kill you, and blah blah blah. So it was fine.
Nothing crazy.
It's good fun.
Nothing too wild. Coach, I'm curious on your end, again, going into what's expected to be a really promising year for the program. Just what have you seen from the support that you've gotten, not only from the Arizona State fan base, but from Graham Rossini and the entire Arizona State athletic department?
Yeah, Graham's been unbelievably supportive. Obviously I signed a new contract earlier this year, and Graham is a big reason why I wanted to continue to be here. His wife, Allie, played volleyball here. Graham's a very passionate Sun Devil. As you guys know, he's very passionate about the Sun Devils. And they've been unbelievably supportive of our program, and I'm really excited about this year because the very first press conference, I said there's no reason we can't have, 5,000, 8,000 people here. It's 5th largest city in the country. Huge student population, and if we put a good product on the floor, then we should get a really nice fan base. And the first, last year I think we had 6 or 7 matches over 4,000, and we're hoping we can get to 5,000 and some matches this year. And I think the athletic department is really behind that, and we got some nice marketing things that we're planning, and so we're really excited and really appreciate the support from them.
I think one of the really fascinating things about your team, and something that you had mentioned, is that it's an entirely new starting lineup that you're going off of. An incredibly successful season before. As a coach, How difficult is that for you to carry momentum and to continue that success with a brand new set of faces starting for you?
Yeah, it's been very challenging, and it'll continue to be challenging. It's a new group, and I think part of the challenge is them just getting used to playing together. Settling into the lineup that we're going to use, continuing to compete, and them kind of getting used to each other, and then the system we're running. But I think when you bring in transfers, that's happening nowadays in every sport. You got to get them integrated in your culture, and I think we've done a really nice job. I mean, all the kids that have come in here, whether it's a freshman or transfer, since I've been here, have been phenomenally good humans, and I think the team has really brought them in a really nice way. And so it's a challenge, but I think it's also a fun challenge. Last year was just like, all right, we knew for the most part, like, this is our starting lineup, this is what we're doing. I'm not going to say it was easy, because it's never easy, but it was comfortable, I guess is probably the best way to put it. And this year, I think it's uncomfortable, but that's part of life. You got to be comfortable being uncomfortable. It sounds corny and cliche, so I kind of hate saying that, but it's true. But I also think it makes for some excitement. We didn't really perform the way we wanted to against Pitt that next night, and Pitt played a phenomenal match, and we weren't in our best game. So I was in with my staff, and I think the best staff in the country. They're phenomenal. Yesterday, and just trying to find some solutions for a couple things that we had uncovered, in that second match this weekend. And it's fun, because it just gives you new challenges, new puzzles to figure out kind of every week. And then it'll take a few more weeks, and then we'll kind of get a little more settled in. But I think it's a really fun challenge.
After such a successful season last year, how do you keep that chip on your shoulder? Not just you, but I guess the team as well. It's a conversation we have with Arizona State football all the time as well, having such a strong 2024 campaign, using all the bulletin board material, and then going into this year, you are the hunted, not the hunter anymore. Do you almost feel like that same sentiment, or is it completely different for you guys?
No, I'm really good at having a chip on my shoulder. And I think I can get that onto the team. I think, the key is really trying to set your standards high, and continue to put pressure on your team. And I think whether it's good or bad, my style is definitely, I'm not like Pollyanna positive, which I'm trying to get better at, but I do think we have pretty high standards, and when we hit them, it's like, all right, now the standard's higher. It's not good enough. And I think we really try to kind of harp on that stuff in our practice gym, and in our matches, to be honest. So I never look at rankings. I have no idea what we're ranked right now. I didn't even know we were ranked when we went into the tournament. I just don't. My staff knows, don't bring it up ever to me, because at the end of the day, it's all that matters is the next match. So right now, our focus is cleaning a couple things that we got uncovered in this weekend, and then getting ready for Florida Gulf Coast coming in on Friday.
You said it was easy for you to keep a chip on your shoulder. Has that always been the case with you? Does that come from something that you've experienced in your life?
No, I mean, maybe I like the underdog thing, and I think it's I've been a grinder my whole life. Back from I started working when I was like 12, just to find ways to, accomplish whatever I wanted to do. And so there's always someone better than you. I think Wayne Gretzky's dad was famous for saying, there's always someone better than you, Wayne. And he is the greatest to ever play the game. I think I'm probably biased because I grew up watching him. But I think if you have that mentality, there's always someone better. There's always someone better out there. And so if you start settling, then you'll never reach them.
100%. Zooming out of the ASU volleyball conversation for a second, there is a lot of hype and a lot of excitement just around Arizona State athletics in general, with Kenny Dillingham and the football program, with Molly Miller being the new Arizona State women's basketball coach. I'm curious on your end just what it's like to see Arizona State starting to get so much national love in being a part of the actual athletics conversation, and then just what have some of those conversations and relationships been like with Molly Miller and then with Kenny Dillingham as well?
Yeah, Kenny's the most amazing football coach I've ever gotten to interact with. Talk about someone who's, humble and hungry. I mean, I could tell story out of story about his support of our program and our players, and he cares so much, and it's not just us, about all the sports. We have a great head coaches thread that everyone's involved in. I mean, every head coach here is doing awesome things, and they're so fun to be around. And like, I love going to other coaches' practices, kind of checking them out and seeing if there's something I can learn. I got to spend a day with Kenny in the spring, which was an absolute blast. And he tolerated all my dumb questions because I don't know football that well. But I got to sit in on a video session with just him and learned a lot there, which was cool. But Kenny's just awesome. And all the coaches are. I mean, you got Matt killing in golf and Missy. I mean, every coach you go down. Graham's doing some crazy things over in soccer right now. Molly's been great. She's been super friendly coming in and is really got good vibes. So it's a fun group to be around. Greg and hockey, I mean, come on, those guys are killing it over there. And Greg's been super supportive. I mean, when we played mullet, a lot of times what happens is you play in someone else's facility, they get a little squirrely about it. And he was opening the red carpet to us last year. And the amount of support that the head coaches have for each other is phenomenal and really fun to be around. Willie, Meg, I mean, you can go down the list and like every single coach I could have a great story about. It's really cool.
Have you ever been in a situation that's even remotely close to that? Because it feels like every coach that we talk to, when we talk to Graham, it's like, it's one of a kind. Like, this has never happened before.
Yeah. No, 100%. It just isn't. I mean, sometimes the issue is just a lot of coaches are apart from each other so much. But I think at ASU, the head coaches do a really nice job. We have our own little head coach thread, which I know everyone has, but it's pretty active. And, we'll try to get together, whether it's for a happy hour. We have our head coaches meeting, and it's kind of cool because after the head coaches meeting, you always see that coaches huddling together, chatting and stuff. And it's different vibes. I've never had that at the other places.
If you could swap jobs with another head coach, A, whose job are you taking? And B, who are you entrusting your volleyball team to?
Oh, that's a loaded question. So I'm going to flip it and say if I was going to flip, I would want to flip with Greg because I played hockey and I think it'd be fun to be a hockey coach. But I would be terrible at it because I don't know how to coach hockey at all.
Can respect that.
Who would you want coaching you? Let's say like you got to take a leave. They got to play a match, right? So this person is there. They got a week to prep. Who are you picking?
I mean, Kenny, like the guy's got more energy than anyone I've ever met. The day I went and I shadowed him, he's like, all right, we're starting at 6:30. I'm like, okay, I'll be there. And it's like 6:30 to 6. I mean, this is a spring, and the amount of energy that he has is like, in all honesty, he reminded me a lot of like, I've had a few small interactions with Pete Carroll, but I went to SC a long time ago, and I was like a season football ticket holder when Carroll was doing it out there. And Kenny's energy reminds me of that. I mean, he is passionate, and I think that's, like if you don't know much about the sport and you're just going to inject absolute passion. I mean, he's unbelievable with that.
Definitely, the passion is something that comes through, and I think as it relates to Kenny and a lot of the coaches, yourself included, at Arizona State, that's part of the reason why the fan base is really starting to rally around each and every one of these programs. You guys were 14-1 at home last season. Just what's the message now starting this 2025 campaign to the Arizona State students, to the Valley, to come show up and show out for Arizona State volleyball?
Come support us. It makes a difference. And I guarantee if you come watch a match, you're gonna love it. I think a lot, like anyone I know who's come to a match for the first time doesn't realize how exciting volleyball is. Points happen quickly. Every 15 seconds, there's another point. And it's really exciting. And these guys are unbelievable athletes. I mean, Greg was texting me this weekend, and he wasn't just watching. I mean, it was so cool because he's a hockey coach, and he was watching some of the other big games going on. And he's just like, oh my gosh, these are unbelievable athletes. And I mean, it's crazy. We got kids that can dunk on our team.
That is nuts.
Yeah, I can't personally.
You can't
dunk? Neither can I.
Really?
Yeah, it's tough. At 5'8", man.
One day, Totri.
I'm vertically challenged.
One
man.
day.
It's tough.
We'll get you with my strength coach, and he'll get you up there.
I'm here for it. Let's run a workout. Let's see if I can dunk.
I would love to come just do a practice with y'all, get dunked on.
I think
take
we-
a ball to
Whenever
the
you guys
face.
want to, if you guys want to come in, absolutely, that would be so much fun.
I love it.
Sweet.
Let's definitely do it. JJ Van Niel, Arizona State volleyball coach. JJ, we appreciate you taking the time today, man.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Always.
Devils.
Best of luck this weekend. My goodness.
Man, go support. Listen, go support ASU volleyball.
Yeah.
Not just because they're good, but like, what a nice guy.
Just
right?
great
He just
coaches,
invited
man.
us to his practice.
Just great
We're gonna
coaches.
ruin the practice, but he still invited us. We're gonna be completely throwing everything off. They'd be like, these guys suck.
They're back at home. They're back at home. Desert Financial Arena against Florida Gulf Coast this Friday. Also at home this Sunday against Loyola Marymount. So definitely go check out the Sun Devils. It's going to be a lot of fun. Another exciting season for Arizona State volleyball. Make sure you hit that like button. You hit the subscribe button. You drop a 5-star review. We'll be back on the other side of this quick break.
Listen, you gotta save money in this world. It's the only way that you can actually survive, but it's hard to find ways to save money because it feels like everything in the world sneaks up on you. That's where Monarch Money comes into play because you can track everything from your personal investments to your 401k to your spending patterns to everything that you could possibly need in order to maximize the amount of money that you can save. And that way you can live a more comfortable life and work more towards your goals. Monarch Money is an app that people actually use. Professionals love it. Individuals love it. Experts love it. Not just in the reviews, but also it was named the best budgeting app in 2025 by the Wall Street Journal. It was Forbes' best app for couples if you're trying to build a life together. And it was named CNBC's top fintech company in the world. Plus, they have a passionate Reddit community that is using it every single day. Don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use code PHNX at monarchmoney.com. That's PHNX at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com, code PHNX.
Look, if you're an Arizona State Sun Devil through and through, well, then you've already got a relationship with Mountain America Credit Union. Of course, you've got Mountain America Stadium. Why not have Mountain America Credit Union do your banking? The perfect place with their My Style checking account that has built-in perks and benefits just for you. You guys can enjoy restaurant deals, mobile phone protection, telehealth access, identity protection, loan rate discounts, offers on travel and events. And guess what, Rubus?
What?
There's even more.
No way.
It's true. Mountain
here.
America Credit Union.
Don't lie to me.
They've got exactly what you need. I mean, everybody needs a checking account, right? And if you're an Arizona State Sun Devil and you've already got the ties to Mountain America Credit Union, well, just have them do your banking. You can't go wrong. Make My Style your lifestyle at Mountain America Credit Union. Visit macu.com/mystyle to apply. Insured by NCUA. Membership required based on eligibility. Some benefits require no cost registration. Activation terms, conditions, and exclusions apply.
What an interview. What an incredible time.
Great coach, man. Great
it's
coach.
so awesome. The mustache is so great. Can we
It's
get a
an elite
mustache
mustache.
review from the mustache
It's an
behind the
elite
back?
mustache.
Yeah,
Make sure they see the mustache.
No, if mine's a 9 out of 10,
His is
then
a 10.
his is a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
He makes me want to bring back mustache.
Yeah, well,
You might have to.
nope.
For practice.
You might
Should
have
I
to
just
do it.
dress up as JJ Van Niel?
Wait, that would actually be really funny if you showed up to practice with just
Wear
the
high
mustache.
heels,
Yeah.
platform shoes.
Still wouldn't be able to dunk.
No.
Yeah. Still would
Dang.
be very, very
I
tough.
want to
boost you
have.
up.
I want to have a beer with him.
I do too.
Yeah,
more than
for
anything.
sure.
We should. Let's just go get
Yeah,
a beer
screw
with JJ.
practice. Let's
Screw
just,
practice.
Hey, coach.
JJ, you want to go grab a beer, man?
I know we were supposed to come and like hang out at practice. Do you think you can have somebody else watch
Graham,
practice?
JJ, Kenny.
Oh my
I mean,
god, I'm
yeah.
blacking out.
Well, why don't we just go to the coach's happy hour? You said that there's a coach's happy hour.
We need to find
They
out.
need
Yeah,
to
we're
invite
allowed.
us.
Yeah.
They need to. Could you imagine they show up and
They
we're
were
just there? We're just crushing tequila sodas with limes. They're just like, what do these guys
Oh,
coach?
man, that would
And
be-
they're like, they're the 1915 national champions. In case you didn't know this.
Gosh, man.
What an incredible conversation. I do want to get back to what we had brought up right before we started talking.
The
and that
offensive
was
line.
The offensive line. Is that for you the biggest key going into week 2 for the number 12 ranked team in the country?
Ooh, yeah, it's got to be, right? Because I think you look back to last week and all of the issues offensively, you can probably pinpoint some way that was impacted by the Arizona State offensive line. Sam Levitz maybe some of his off throws, his misreads, the timing on some things. Maybe that's because the pressure that he was feeling because of the offensive line, right? A lot of the penalties up front were because of the offensive line, holding, false start, etc. And again, like, you are going to be facing a bigger, nastier defensive line this week than you did last week. That's no disrespect to NAU. Schematically, what they did was very exotic, to quote Kenny Dillingham, and it definitely threw Ben Coleman and the rest of this Arizona State offensive line for a little bit of a loop. But going into week 2, that can't be the case, right? Yeah. You can't say that we know what hurt us in week 1, say we're going to change it, then go to week 2 and have some of those same mistakes happen again. In Mississippi State, I mean, they're not a perfect team either. They committed a lot of penalties in their week 2 game against Southern Miss. I want to say 9 penalties. So this has the potential to either be a very ugly game on both sides, or it, again, presents Arizona State with an opportunity to show what the number 12 team in the country can do.
So give a little like peek behind the curtains of what type of conversation you can get in our Die Hard Discord. This is Officer K, which I believe is David Rodish.
I think so,
I believe. Talking about looking at week 1 against Southern Miss, that Mississippi State still used their 3-man front on the defensive line, which is what they used last year against Cam Scadaboo. And he said, I know Marcus Arroyo and Kenny Dillingham want to pass more this season, but there's no way ASU shouldn't utilize their tight end advantage and run the bleep out of the ball, especially with the Kyson Brown homecoming, right? With NAU, you saw a lot of, like you mentioned, exotic packages, and sometimes they would bring a lot more than just 3. Sometimes they would bring a lot of pressure onto Sam. If Mississippi State's going to baseline rush 3, the offensive line should be able to handle that a little bit better.
If you can't handle a 3-man front, then there's a problem.
Right, against a non-elite team. Still an SEC team, but not an elite team. So hopefully, Sam can be
not
more
even
comfortable.
A good team.
Yeah.
Let's get that clear.
No, they're not.
They're not even a good team, let alone not even an elite team.
And don't even get me started on the hotels.
They're an average team, man. They're an average team
at best
with a mid-state.
They got a good bit though. The cowbell's a good bit.
It's a great bit.
It's a good bit.
It's a great bit, man.
They're gonna be so mad that I called
exactly
that
what you would expect in SEC
country.
country.
They're gonna be so
man.
mad I called that a bit.
It's exactly what you'd expect in SEC country.
But if they're rushing 3 and you have Kyson, Raleek, and Kanye and Sam, and then also hopefully a better protected Sam to throw the ball down the field, there's no reason this offense shouldn't be clicking.
I think you should see 12 and 13 personnel a little bit more this week, given the fact that Mississippi State does like that 3-man front. And they didn't really move away from it last year when they had Scat. All eyes and all of the conversation around ASU is that the running back room isn't as good as it was last year, right? Because you don't have Scat. Why would they move out of a 3-man front going into this game? I think you're going to have an early opportunity to run the football with all 3 of those running backs. And why not pack in some extra tight ends into that formation and just, let's say, our guys versus your guys. You're in the SEC, right? You're supposed to be the big bad dudes of college football. We're going to line up across from you. We're just a lowly Big 12 school, and we're going to see who's better. We're going to see who gets it and who wants it more.
That being said, I do think that they're going to throw the ball more than they did last year. You still have Jordan Tyson and Sam Levitt. Those are your 2 best players on your team. Obviously, Sam's going to use his legs. That was really the only way he was effective against Mississippi State last year. But I'd still expect them to target Jordan Tyson quite a bit. I don't expect them to go away from that at all. I think week in and week out, Arizona State will start to be known more as a passing team, as more of an air raid team than running, but you got to keep them honest. And we know that, like, deep down in his heart, like, Kenny Dillingham is I'm going to run the football kind of guy.
He is. That's what his offenses have always been at Oregon, at Auburn. It starts with the run and then opening up the play action pass. But even going into this game, like, if they're going to sit in a 3-man front all day, and I mean, if I'm calling the plays, and again, I'm not, like, I would be running the hell out of those 3 running backs.
100%, especially because you've got the speed and the power.
You got 3 different versions of a runner.
And you got Levitt. You got 4, really.
Yeah, 4.
Like, Sam Levitt, like, for all intents and purposes, can be a running back.
Yeah.
Like,
he was a running back last week. He was the team's leading rusher.
Yeah, I mean, he also threw for 200-something yards. But, like, he, in 2 touchdowns, right? But he can be your running back 1. He can be your running back 2. You know, he could just be the guy that runs when you need to run. I think it's going to be really, really interesting. And that's something, not Sam Levitt specifically, but just ASU running the ball, that Jeff Lebby talked about today.
Yeah, I mean, the perfect alley-oop there. I appreciate that. Yeah, this is what Mississippi State coach Jeff Lebby had to say about Arizona State's attack on the ground.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all aware they're going to try to run the football. That's a huge part of it. That's going to be a huge part of the game. We've got to do a great job of being incredibly sound and fitting tight and fitting fast, and then we got to get a bunch of guys to the ball carrier. Again, these backs have the ability to win in one-on-ones, and we've got to game tackle all of these guys.
Yeah, I think when we talk about Arizona State and that ground game, something that he brings up is they've all got the ability to win the one-on-one. And that's true. Raleek Brown has the ability to outrun you and make you miss. Kyson Brown and Kanye Udo, I think, showed that they have the ability to run through you. I think Kyson probably a little bit more elusive than Kanye, at least just based off of what we've seen. But each and every one of these guys is capable of going over the century mark at some point this season, as long as the offensive line handles business up front, and I fully expect them to do so this week, especially if they do pack in some more tight ends and run 12, 13 personnel. There's no reason why Kyson and Raleek and Kanye can't be the reason that Arizona State wins this game.
I mean, the offensive line will still go through a tough test just from the fact that it's their first true road environment. It's going to be the first time. A lot of firsts for Ben Coleman coming this season. He already had his first ever start at center.
Yeah.
Now he's going to get his first ever road start
In
at
the
center
SEC.
in the SEC. And like the Cowboy thing, I know the cowbell thing, I know I said it was a bit, but like that can make an impact, right? And they're in practice. There's a reason. Like if it wasn't going to make an impact, Kenny wouldn't incorporate it into
You
his
best
practice.
believe that those fans are going to come out rocking that cowbell even more so. I've seen people
Don't you
saying,
dare talk about our hotels.
that doesn't replicate the cowbell sound on the field. Like, dude, they are like totally trying to find anything they can.
Man, they got a chip on their shoulder, and I respect that. But like, it's borderline being babies.
It is a big.
Like,
they're the babies of the conference, bro.
Yeah.
Like this is what they do. Every year they're like, we're Mississippi State. We're your little bro.
Yeah.
Your little bro.
You're
You're
100. Well, like
your little bro to Ole Miss, man. Like, and to the rest of this conference. Like that's the
Sure.
truth of college football. Mississippi State hasn't been good in a while.
Yeah, the last time was what?
A long time ago.
Was it when Dak was there?
Probably. Yeah.
The last time they were good?
It had to have been the last time
Yeah.
that they were like actually relevant in the conference was when Dak Prescott was there. At the end of the day, Mississippi State they're fine.
Yeah.
It's like to quote the Deli Band, they're fine.
I mean, like, can Mississippi State win this game? Like, can they?
If they win this game, it'll have to be off of the back of that secondary, completely removing Jordan Tyson and the rest of these Arizona State wideouts from the ball game, which, you know, Jordan Tyson was realistically the only wide receiver that had a real impact on the game against NAU. Jeff Lebby knows that Jordan Tyson is wide receiver one for the Sun Devils, but it goes beyond just Jordan Tyson. Credits a lot of the guys in this ASU wide receiver room. This is what Mississippi State coach Jeff Lebby had to say on the ASU wideouts.
Yeah, I mean, we've got one of the best receivers in all of college football that's going to be in Starkville on Saturday night. Guy that had a ton of production last year. He's made an unbelievable amount of plays. A guy that got targeted, I think, 15 or 16 times the other day, had 12 catches, and are incredibly productive players. So, again, for us, we're going to see those guys Saturday night. We're going to see them throughout our schedule, and it's going to be a great opportunity, you know, for our guys on the perimeter.
I really, really hope that as much as they want to involve Jordan Tyson a ton, I would love to see some Malik, some Jaron, some Jalen, Eusebio, even some more Shaman. Like, I do want Sam to spread the love out a little bit more because you're probably going to need to keep that secondary honest. Right?
Yeah, I
because
think probably.
if you're going to only rush 3, what does that mean?
You're asking me a
What does that
rhetorical
mean?
question. If
What
you're
does that
only
mean?
rushing 3, then Sam's going to have all day.
He's going to have all day, but that means that their focus is going to be
Yeah, they've got other people back
behind
in the back end of that defense.
right.
Yeah.
So and for most teams that are going to play ASU, like their main focus is going to be their secondary and shutting down the wide receiver room. I think the only way, obviously Jordan Tyson's immense talent and Sam Levitt's immense talent can overcome a lot. I think the only way to be able to maximize them to the best of their abilities is to also maximize the rest of that wide receiver room.
Yeah, I think
to the
that's
best
fair.
of their abilities.
Glenn says I don't see us spreading it out when they run 3-man fronts. I think it's going to be running the football pretty often, especially early on in this game. But we saw Dilly go kind of unconventional and really want to air it out aggressively against NAU week 1. So I don't think you can completely remove that, especially when you have Jordan Tyson at wide receiver. I think there's still going to be those shot plays that they take for sure, especially with Jaron Hamilton maybe getting a little bit more involved in this offense. But I do like the idea of, especially early on in this game, establishing the run, really, really cracking that 3-man front early on in this one to try and make Mississippi State have to adjust, maybe over-adjust in the way that they're going to try and defend Arizona State.
I mean, we mentioned this a lot during the offseason. This offense is very much like pick your poison.
Yeah.
And it should be pick your poison, and they need to make Mississippi State pick their poison.
Yeah.
Right? Kind of did it against NAU. Not as much. Sam threw the ball 40 times. I don't know if I'd say I'd be shocked if Sam threw the ball 40 times.
I'd be pretty surprised.
I certainly don't expect it. But if I asked you before NAU if Sam would throw the ball 40 times,
I would have said no.
You would have said you would have been shocked,
I did say that I didn't expect him to throw the ball.
And I forget the conversation we had where we talked about like how many attempts is Sam going to have. Like I do expect him to significantly uptick from last season. But I think if Sam's throwing the ball 40 times against Mississippi State, one of two things is happening. Either A,
can't run the ball.
Well, I think either A, he's carving him up, or B, they're playing from behind.
I agree with the playing from behind. I think even if he's tearing him up and carving him up, Kenny's going to be a little bit more balanced this week. At least I think so. We'll see. Right?
Yeah, I think 40. I think I could see 30.
I could see
30 for sure.
I could see 30, but wait, he threw the ball 20 some odd times last year when they played Mississippi State. They didn't need Sam
and it wasn't effective
to throw. No, it wasn't effective, and they didn't need him to throw the ball that terribly much because of what Scat was doing. Again, like nearly record-breaking performance against Mississippi State a year ago. Jeff Lebby, like he said, understands that ASU wants to run the football. That is with even Jordan Tyson being on the outside. We do have one more soundbite from Mississippi State coach Jeff Lebby. We will get to it and wrap up today's show on the other side of this final break.
Some people need to relax, whether you're upset about somebody talking about hotels, or maybe you've had a stressful day, or maybe you're trying to celebrate. Pure Edibles is the perfect way to do whatever you need to do, whether it's be uplifted, whether it's to relax, whether it's to stay focused. They use a unique blend of CBN, CBG, and CBD, of course, along with marijuana-derived THC to find the perfect blend and the perfect gummy. And I say perfect gummy because it actually tastes good, but it's not just like coated in sugar like their competitors. We're talking gummies, Kicks, which is their version of Starburst, Chews, which are soft candies like caramel, and hard candies as well. Pure gummies are designed to be ripped or bit in half, making them easily shareable or easy to dial in your exact dose. I know you love dabbling in Pure Edibles when you're sitting back, ready to watch a nice weekend of football or, of course, a UFC card. But as long as you enjoy responsibly, there's no wrong way to enjoy Pure Edibles. Go find yourself some Pure Edibles products from one of the over 130 dispensaries across Arizona.
Look, I woke up today a little bit lethargic, a little bit tired.
Oh.
I did, but thankfully I live right next to a Circle K, so I pulled in this morning, grabbed myself an energy drink. Of course there was a deal. So I snagged an extra one for tomorrow, filled up on gas, saved some money. All of that because I'm an Inner Circle member. So what does it take to be an Inner Circle member? Well, literally 30 seconds of your time. That's pretty much it. Just download the app from the App Store, enter your email and phone number, and that's it. You're going to be an Inner Circle member, which is Circle K's free membership program. Next time you pull up to the pump, you're going to type in your phone number, and you're going to start saving money on gas. You could save up to 25 cents per gallon on your first 5 fill-ups. If that's not enough, you guys can save 3 to 5 cents every single day.
Every day?
After that. Literally, if you want to go fill up every day, you can, and you can save money. Like I said earlier, they got deals on snacks, on drinks. Not to mention, there's a bunch of Circle locations all over town. Join Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit circlek.com for details.
We should have gotten to this earlier, but we do have a super chat from
We do.
Lonnie Johansson. Says, good afternoon from Kansas. Go Big 12. Lonnie also says, congratulations on the Big 12 ASU championship last year. Thank you, Lonnie.
Shout out, Lonnie.
Also, I don't know if you missed this, Lonnie. You probably did. We claimed the 1915 national championship.
We did. We are the reigning, defending
1915 national champions.
Yeah, so I guess we're not reigning or defending anymore.
No, but it's okay.
Yeah. We reigned and defended in 1916.
Love when we get Big 12
Bad
fans
year
in
for
here.
us, though.
Love when we get just like other Big 12 fans in here. In case you didn't know, Lonnie or anybody who's just tuning in, every single weekend after the Saturday slate of games, we're going to be putting out a Big 12 recap. We did that last weekend after week 1, and we'll do it again after week 2. Plus, another programming note for everybody, we're going to start doing pregame shows.
Yeah.
As well. We'll be live for away games because we'll be able to be here in studio. And then for home games, since we're going to be at the stadium, we are going to pre-record some earlier in the day, and we'll air that 30 minutes before the game. So make sure you add that to your calendar. PHNX Sun Devils pregame show 30 minutes before every single football game this year. How exciting is that?
Be live right here on the YouTube channel at 4 o'clock this Saturday. Leading into that 4:30 kickoff between Arizona State and Mississippi State. It's a game Arizona State is definitely in the thick of preparation for, and so is Mississippi State. That's what Jeff Lebby had to say, just in terms of prepping for the number 12 team in the country.
Yeah, and they're a chunk play football team. They're an explosive team. They do want to run the football. Their backs are explosive players. But they're going to try to find ways to motion and shift and create some leverages and some opportunities in the shot game and throw it down the field to him. So we've got to do a great job of, one, knowing where he's at. That's the first piece of it because he moves all over the field. And then the next piece is when the ball's in the air, we got to go attack it and go make plays.
I think that's part of what makes Arizona State so dangerous this year is that the mantra is, hey, we got to defend the run. Arizona State likes to run the football. Cam Scadaboo last year. They got 3 running backs this year. But at the end of the day, Jordan Tyson's wide receiver 1. One of the best wide receivers in college football. He showed you that last week. He's going to be showing you all year long. If you don't do something to remove him from the football game, then Arizona State is going to do exactly what they did week 1 against NAU, and they're going to target Jordan Tyson, and they're going to make your number 1 corner really sit out there on an island and try and defend somebody who, like Lebby says, moves all across the formation. He's a matchup nightmare for that reason because he can line up on the perimeter. He can line up in the slot. Heck, he can even line up in the backfield given his unique skill set. Mississippi State is going to have their work cut out for him this Saturday.
Yeah. Also, Marcus Arroyo talked about Jordan Tyson's heavy target share against NAU. This is from Devil's Digest. Justin Lacertosa does a great job. Says, quote, "What did you expect? We go into the game plan with the balance being what's going to make us efficient down and distance. What can make us explosive?" So what did you expect? Of course, we're going to throw the ball to Jordan Tyson.
Why wouldn't you? Right?
I mean, no, it's the same thing like with Cam Scadaboo, right? Where we would kind of go week in, week out against teams and be like, oh, you just have Cam Scadaboo. We just have to shut down Cam Scadaboo. All you have to do is shut down Cam Scadaboo. Didn't really work like that, right? That's why you always gave the ball to Cam Scadaboo. It should be the same way with Jordan Tyson and Sam Levitt, even though they got to spread the love out. Before we wrap things here, there's a question from Croissant. Says, we didn't see too many fake punts last year. I think there were 2 or 3. There has been 1 so far this year in the NAU game. Will they lean on special teams during this game/season as much or more?
I think they'll definitely lean on special teams more than they did a year ago.
Well, yeah, because
you have a competent kicker now, which means a whole hell of a lot to the offense and down and distance and what you're able to do. Also, I think you saw at moments Kenyon Floyd really be able to flip the field there.
He was Big 12 Special Teams Player of the Week.
He was a phenomenal returner that you're able to bring back this year. And again, you saw the difference Raleek made just in the few times that he was able to get the ball in open space on special teams. The special teams is, I think I said it before the season started, the most improved, like by far, unit individually of any unit on this roster. And I think you'll see it this year.
Lots of teams win games because of special teams.
Yeah.
Like, so many people kind of write it off, but it is a massively important part.
McKay says, what's with the keyboard typing?
For the clips? Yeah, that can't control that. That's SEC country,
that's
baby.
Paul Jones, right? That's Paul Jones, Polly Boy.
Come on, Paul Jones.
Hey.
I'm not calling out Paul. I'm just saying
I know, but
that's Paul.
what
or somebody next to Paul.
He graciously posted these.
Thank you, Paul.
And we were able to use them. Let's not.
Paul.
Yeah.
Paul, how are the hotels?
Shout out Polly Boy.
Need reports on the hotels, Paul.
Anything else?
Before we go, they said there's no scat to save ASU this year, but you know who is there?
Sip Man.
Super Sip.
Super Sip.
This is scary.
Super Sip to
Yeah.
the rescue.
He's there
That's terrifying.
and he's ready.
The SEC is scared of Super Sip.
Yeah.
Watch out.
Watch out. Super Sip's going to get you for $140 and 2 touchdowns on the ground. Guys, that's going to do
And
it
then
for
he's gonna
today's
save a
episode
cat from a tree.
of the PHNX Sun Devils show. No show on Thursday, but we will still have some new content on the YouTube, so make sure you're subscribed to PHNX Sports. You hit that like button. You drop a 5-star review on your way out. If you enjoyed today's content, give the show a follow at PHNX_Sun Devils. You can follow me at Anthony_Totri. You can follow that guy right there, the Bean Boy, at Erik Ruby. That's Erik with a
It's my
K.
least favorite one.
You can follow the Deli Man at Shane Deef.
Yeah, it's not your least favorite one. Stupidest person alive, as always.
I like that one more.
And like I said, no show tomorrow. We'll be back Friday at noon. Remember, those Friday shows are earlier, and then we will have a pregame and postgame show right here on the YouTube. But that's going to do it for today's episode. As always, go Devils. Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.